All right, City of Lagos, you're still with us on the Money Business and Economy show right here on 99.3 Nigeria Info. Moses Ahmed from Investment One is still with us. Bimbo Awiyele is also with us in the studio. So we'll be going into the headlines, guys, and just touching a few things happening in and around the world of business. I thought taxes were dead, but Joint Tax Board set IGR to GDP ratio at 15 to 20% this year. So the Joint Tax Board says it has set a target of internally generated revenue to gross domestic product ratio of 15 to 20% by 2019. Executive Secretary of the board, Oseni Elama, who disclosed this yesterday in Abuja, explained that the board is working with states Board of Internal Revenue Services in the 36 states by the federal. Excuse me. It's getting all mumbled up now. Explained that the board is working with the state revenue service to achieve its target. According to him, the board is planning more awareness campaigns this year to ensure an increase in voluntary compliance from taxpayers. He also says the Joint Tax Board is making efforts to ensure some state revenue services become autonomous and operate without interference. What is the current rate? I think it is between 5 to 10%.
No, 6%.
6%.
It's about 6%.
So how do we want to jump to 15 to 20%?
So the same way we did for the budget now, we hope.
Okay.
There are two ways of doing that. You can increase your tax revenue significantly, or you reduce your GDP.
Okay, the second one just got me cracking up.
No, I'm just saying now.
Oh my God, I didn't expect the second one.
But of course, when I said that, the second one was just a joke anyway. The first one is the major thing we want to do.
I wasn't expecting that. Because in my mind, I was thinking, okay, how do you do this? But see, the question is, 15 to 20%.
So you have to reduce your tax revenue, increase your tax revenue.
City of Lagos, and I don't want to sound like a cynic, but these things, how we need to be realistic, at least so that we can pursue.
We're talking about this year, 2019.
That we've already started. It's not 2019 that is months away.
That means you expect more taxes.
From where? That's the question. And you're 6%. That means, first of all, your efficiency needs to be at such a point that the 6% you were before, you still have to collect it. Let's be clear on that. The one you collected last year, you have to be efficient enough to collect that 6% first of all.
Let's assume that they will, because...
So that's what I'm saying. First of all, you need to collect the one that you collected last year, first of all. That's the repeat. You guys are already the tax net.
How are you going to double that?
Now, no, not even double it. Now, you're looking to even possibly triple.
And what does that mean again? It means you want your GDP to grow. So your GDP will be growing. So you want your revenue to grow at a faster pace than your GDP for you to increase your tax to GDP ratio. That's the meaning.
That's another point there, because obviously, if there's no increase in revenue, where you're going to get? So basically, it is the expanding the tax base.
Yes. So
here's the thing now, and you said it. It sounds like hope. Bimbo said it sounds like hope, because he said here that. He also says, this is the point. According to him, the board is planning more awareness campaign this year to ensure an increase in voluntary compliance from taxpayers. Yeah. So they are planning.
And I feel maybe they think
they don't have it yet on ground what they are going to do.
And I feel maybe they think a lot of people are not paying taxes, so people don't pay tax in Nigeria generally. So they feel like even with the current GDP, with the current output that we produce, the tax they are collecting is too small relative to that. But
you know this thing, right? I was speaking to Anthony Bourdain when he came to Lagos, City of Lagos, if you know who that is. And we were at Computer Village talking about the people there, and he was asking me that, so these guys don't pay taxes, and I said, not exactly. So those guys at Computer Village then tend to pay one daily fee to the I don't know whether it's to call them the Omonile
or whether it doesn't even get to the government. That's another thing.
No. What I'm trying to say is that there are some level of taxes paid. Whether it is now formal taxes or not is the question. So it is now up to the government to formalize that process so that the tax gets to them
I
instead
believe
of
this is
getting
part of
to-
those things they want to address, because people, even if you pay taxes, you
But
pay-
but see, if me that I'm outside the tax system, I know this. They know this clearly. It's just that, of course, the people collecting this tax money are also useful politically.
I don't know about that one.
Oh my God! But no, but seriously. So, on a regular basis, every market, even those people that are hawking, selling, not having shops, they have to pay people in the market on a daily
Yes.
basis
Yes.
for allowing them to
It's
sell.
levies
Enablement,
and all those
which
things.
there was a story also early today about Lagos State tax force preventing people who trade along railway lines, that they're going to start arresting and prosecuting them. There was a very there was something that was mentioned by the head of the task force, that they want to discourage, because those people actually don't just go on their own accord. Something gave them lever to go and
do
start
it.
selling
Yeah,
yes.
by railway.
there's
Because
an enabler.
they
There's
pay the local government or whoever it
Yes,
is,
yes.
daily
Yes.
to put their wares
Yes.
there.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they said they are going to start by he encouraged those people who are to stop collecting money from them,
he's encouraging them.
so that I found
Are
something
they
wrong with
government
that.
officials?
I found
Yeah.
something wrong with you
Encouraging-
appealing to people who are collecting money from them to stop, so that when you stop those people, when you come hard on the people taking money from them, they will stop
Collecting.
and then you tell them to.
But the question is, how do you now stop these guys? Because also, let's look at
And at the same time, you want to bring them into maybe a formal or informal tax net.
So
that
I like to observe a lot whenever I find myself in certain scenarios. So along the Lekki Expressway, right, that is going towards Ajah area. It's usually free traffic. No movement is usually free. I remember one particular day there was heavy traffic, right? So people at a particular bus stop, the boys at this particular bus stop now started telling the bus drivers, they were collecting money from all the bus drivers that were passing that particular bus stop. They were now saying, should you guys want, they were saying, should you guys fly, Abi? Why don't you fly now? What they were trying to, the context is, those guys were supposed to have been paying them money regularly, but today, since there's traffic, they can now accost them and collect money. But usually, because there's free flow of traffic, they can't collect money. So I was now thinking, why are you paying money for passing a bus stop? I don't get it. And it's become, because the bus drivers were not saying, no, you can't collect this money for me, it's illegal. It was more like grumbling to pay what they know they should pay. So those taxes in our system already that already exist,
Captured, one
you
local
get
government.
and people know, and this is not in Lagos alone. This
Yes,
is
everywhere.
across the federation.
Yes, everywhere.
But then we're talking about the fact that people are not in the tax set.
Maybe I think like you said too. Maybe they don't get to the government. Maybe they'll just put this money.
now,
Somebody will collect.
That's what
the
I'm saying.
money.
The government knows the people collecting this, so go and collect your money from those people now. Oh yes, City of Lagos. I didn't expect that discussion was going to last that long, but it's just so joint tax board. I thought that after the exit of Kemi Adeosun, we won't hear anything about taxes again. But this one seems like wishing.
But there's another leg, to that story about them making the state tax boards autonomous.
Yes, they did say about that.
Maybe that will give them more power to get money from those people.
Personally, I don't have confidence in the state tax board.
And that's what they're trying to say.
So he says
Make
that
them autonomous.
says the joint tax board is making efforts to ensure the state revenue services become autonomous and operate without interference.
The governors demanded for it at the governors forum. They want to, and when governors, make such requests,
Can we only give it to governors that pay salaries? If you are not paying salary,
If I'm not paying salary, I still want to give me power over my IGR. Then I may not even pay for the, because that's the meaning. I need that money. I need to
whom
monitor
much
it.
is given, much is expected.
But you don't want me to generate IGR. You don't want me to get IGR again.
See, it's the parable of the talents. The one who had 2, the one who came back with 5 was given more. The one who had 2 was given more. The one was more. They took it from him.
And they continue to hold those people now. They continue to hold them.
That's the point. The one that they gave, they didn't even use it to
so they will continue to hold them. That's what I'm saying now. Going forward,
then they should merge the state with another state that is paying salary.
This discussion on merging states, why we created more states, I would never understand. And even I remember that at the tail end of the last administration for President Goodluck Jonathan, there was this talk about the fact that they want to create more states. I was like, are you people well? As it is, are we?
No, it's a way so that people at the local level, people, for example, in a big state, we have a very big state. Let me use my state or your state now. It's a very big state. So whatever gets to the federal from federal government, fact allocation, there are some places that the money will not get because the state is too big. So they feel like if they have a state, they will have their own access.
So they broke it down to Oyo and Osun. And what's happening in
but
Osun
but
state?
you know that
But it should have been worse if it were to be
but
Oyo
you know
alone.
but
when it was Oyo alone, then
It could have
people
been
were getting paid. Now.
No, that was then. I'm talking about now. It could have been worse now.
But you know the real solution to this is not creating more states. It's creating autonomy of the local governments.
Yes,
so that they get their money directly.
I know.
So why are we going round and round?
Is,
we are creating more problems to solve a direct issue.
Yes, that one would have been a very good solution to the problem.
Oh my God! If you don't understand what that is, it is that it's very high.
Yeah, it's all of that.
Oh my God! City of Lagos. So we're still on the show this morning. So talking about other issues, debt profile at 22.4 trillion naira. As at Q3 2018. Figures from the Debt Management Office has shown that Nigeria's debt profile as at Q3 2018 was largely unchanged at 22.4 trillion naira from the previous quarter. This reflects lower borrowings by the government and states in both the external and domestic markets. I don't totally believe this.
Wait. That figure is saying compared to which quarter? I think compared to Q2.
Yeah.
Of course, now it's just a quarter. Now it's not over a year now.
They didn't borrow anything within that period.
Within that quarter.
It was in the last quarter that we went.
So
that's
maybe we should look at it very because it's saying that compared to Q2, that means from June to September. That's the period. So within June and September, let's say July, August, September, they didn't borrow within those.
So depending on who you are, City of Lagos, for every 1 naira we make as Nigeria, it is being said that we pay 60 kobo.
Yes.
In debt servicing.
Yes, about 60%.
So you, I, and all the other, depending who you believe, between 180 and 200 million Nigerians are sharing 40 kobo.
If you want to build roads,
inside that 40 kobo we build roads. Inside that 40 kobo we pay salary.
Do infrastructure.
And these guys even want increase in salary right now.
Yes.
And then inside this 40 kobo, we're paying the National Assembly. Inside this 40 kobo, people are using traveling abroad, ESTA code, all those kind of things. So, City of Lagos, you should remember 40 kobo. Put it in your mind. 40 kobo is important. Because when you look at it from the budget,
like the Sermon on the Mount,
I'm telling you, it's except of course we want to do a Jesus, 2 fishes and.
Their burden is massive. Actually, 60% out of the revenue going for debt servicing alone.
Except Jesus can multiply 2 loaves of bread and 1 fish. How many fishes are there?
That's a lot. I know some people will say, "Oh, our debt GDP is too good." Yes, but debt service revenue is what we should be looking at.
Terrible because I know I deliberately explained it with this 40 kobo scenario.
Yes.
Because I know that a lot of people, when you say it, they always look at it from about debt to GDP is about 20%. But when you are sharing 40 kobo across board, 40 kobo for infrastructure, 40 kobo for salaries, healthcare, security, education,
a lot of things.
I mean, power. Too many things. Development. You're still talking about IT infrastructure. You're talking about bailouts. You're all sorts of things happening, and all of that is inside this 40 kobo.
The main problem is because there's just one major revenue stream.
So we only have oil.
Yeah. If agriculture was pulling its weight, if manufacturing is pulling its weight, tourism,
we'll borrow less.
Of course.
we borrow less.
Less, and then
I will be more productive in several areas.
But now we still have to operate budget deficits.
It's scary.
2018, 2019, the same budget deficit.
But you know what even worries me the most is the fact that I do not see the key infrastructure that is even being completed right now as the kind of infrastructure that would unlock the Nigerian economy. So it's like we've burdened ourselves with a lot of infrastructure that might not even be very useful. Right?
No.
If they can complete the rail,
that rail was supposed to be a dual carriage rail line to be able to carry passengers and cargo. We now changed it to a monorail for only passengers.
You see, that's another thing. When we do infrastructures in Nigeria, maybe the infrastructure takes like 10 years. Within that 10 years,
it's become obsolete. Yeah, that's
so you're just finishing it. Yes, that's the point. It's not become obsolete. It's no more.
It's no more as useful.
It's not even efficient
again.
So the projection that you had for it then
is no more.
It's no more there again. So what can you realize from that? It's limited.
It's really a worry for going into the future. I mean, there's something. Whatever we need to do right now, we need to see how revenue can drastically increase.
The only thing is if you can get cheap foreign loans.
From where, Where? China is the cheapest, and they're already with us. Where are we going?
So if we can get cheap foreign loans, I agree. They will say we need to borrow. I agree.
I was against borrowing at some point, but right now there's really no solution.
We have to borrow.
There's no looking side left right
to match our expenditure.
There's nothing we can do. We still have to borrow.
Exactly. So we need to borrow. We have to borrow.
Let's just keep sharing the 40 kobo.
All right, City of Lagos, remember 40 kobo. Hashtag 40 kobo.
only if you can see oil at 100 again.
Yeah, only if. And I don't think that will happen again.
I'm not sure too.
It's not. I mean, even America right now, cold is catching them. How much more? And once that cold catches them there, I mean, I'm worried about this year going into
sneezing.
The sneezing, I'm just worried. And we just tend to, drag on a few things. The budget, if it's not passed by, first quarter, which I don't think it will be passed.
No, I'm not sure first quarter. I think the last one was passed in June.
Yeah.
So obviously
we can't pass this one in June, shall I hope they know.
So this is an election year now. It has to be around June now.
So are you thinking it will pass it after June?
Oil is below our benchmark right now.
Democracy Day is May 29. Swearing in for whoever is going to be president will be May 29. He will constitute his cabinet.
So budget cannot be passed.
It's June. I mean, there's no.
At the earliest.
It's June. Anything before that.
Well, 2018 budget will
still be
using
because the last.
Well, that's what we have been doing anyway.
But the funny thing about 2018 budget is that quite a lot of it is also a struggle, especially when it was passed, and the fact that we had to create a supplementary budget for it. A lot of it has been a struggle, and even when we're passing it, we knew we were already looking towards 2019 budget. A lot of it was borrowed. So really, we still don't have a lot to fund that 2018 budget itself. So we need to pass this 2019 early so that we don't run into the same mistake of falling into a recession.
Well, how early can that be? Do you think
can we call a meeting? Can we call a meeting?
Election is February.
Can we call a meeting within all these people and explain to them why they need to pass it now?
Do you really think they don't know, Tunji?
Well,
they know.
Okay. So the Abuja Airport Terminal begins operation. A newly inaugurated international terminal at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, officially opened for operations yesterday after a B737 aircraft took off at 3:30 p.m. from Lomé. Okay, took off at 3:30 p.m. from Lomé in Togo with 91 persons on board, comprising 85 passengers and 6 crew members. Managing Director of the Airports Authority of Nigeria, Sela Dunoma, said the new terminal has been positioned to meet passengers' expectations. Zunuma said he expects other international airlines to move into the new terminal as soon as possible. I saw pictures of this. It looks better than the old one, first of all. I mean, it's more spacious, cleaner. I mean, it's even, see, first of all, it has lights. As in, I mean, bulb lights. The other one.
Standards.
The standards have been so low. That was the first thing I looked at. Even the local airport in Abuja. I mean, have you've been past it recently? It's almost as if there's no light in the main central area. Talk less of the international itself. AC not working at some points, but this one there's light everywhere, so you can tell there's power. I want to thank you for the airport, because I mean we saw the airport in Ghana that just, although the Ghanaian airport still looks better, but I mean this is a step forward. It's a step forward.
Yes.
We need to thank them. You know, when the bar has been reduced,
so when you see something normal, you think it's exceptional.
You start thanking them. We have to thank them so that maybe they will draw another one. Oh my God. All right, moving away from there, SEC directs registrars to provide periodic update on investors' e-dividends registration status. All right, so I want to talk about this e-dividend thing, and also people moving from demutualization and people moving from paper certificates to electronic formats if you have a CSCS account. Somebody around always asks me, I'm going to go and do my own next week. Oh, you know, you said I should go and meet the registrar. I'm like, why are you guys holding us back? So City of Lagos, I want you to, everybody that is listening, I know that you probably have a dad or a mom or grandfather that had share certificates, right? The problem that you guys are creating is that there's a huge backlog of dividends that is being warehoused somewhere and has not been disbursed. Now, that huge backlog of dividends continues to attract eyes. You know, there was one time the discussion was, should we use it to build roads? I'm like, leave people's money.
Yeah, they can come anytime.
They can come anytime and ask for their money.
I can check my grandfather's document and say,
you know,
so this thing.
And then you now tell me, did you not hear the road that we're building?
Imagine if I have a share, if my grandfather bought Nestle, for example.
You get.
And now Nestle, look at the price of Nestle. Maybe he bought it then at what naira?
And you know, the dividends have been accrued over the years. So, City of Lagos, if you have any body that, maybe it might even be you, that bought shares at some particular point and you still have the paper certificate, or you don't even remember where the shares are, please go. I mean, you can meet investment houses like Investment One, or just go straight to the registrar of the company itself and just tell them your name. Of course, there'll be some searches. They'll check your signature and the rest. But give or take, it's the first step to getting it sorted.
Yes.
But please, we need to take all those paper certificates and make them electronic.
Yes.
Please, because that way, if it's electronic and you have a CSS account, which is like your bank account for your shares, your dividends just go straight there, and we don't have to start explaining to anybody that they don't need to touch.
And if you don't know, if you want to check if your parents alive or deceased have, especially if they're deceased, you can go online
and check.
Just do a check. Just put the person's name. You could just put in a last name. Everyone under that last name will come out.
Please.
And then it will show you what and what they have.
Yeah.
Just go to.
Actually, I have a friend who did this search and found out the amount of shares his father has, and the father is late now, and he had to even go and call all his elder brothers and say, Daddy has money here. Or, let's go and collect it, or so
good boy.
No, he wanted to share. But he went as a family. No, in fact, he knew he could. That was why he called him. I'm sure if he could do it by himself, he would have gone. But yeah, City of Lagos. The problem with all of those things is that because there are a lot of people who either passed on or do not even remember that they have those shares, those dividends are piling up, and they're running into billions, hundreds of billions, and it's just there.
And you can't even sell. If you want to sell, nobody will
You
buy certificate
get
from you.
so those things are
Because
just
like at the
standing.
time, somebody told me that I think mom bought Skybank
Yeah.
shares before the issue came up. So they were just trying to dematerialize it, and you couldn't do it. They were just stuck somewhere. They left it, and the stock just went down like that till money went away. It's like,
Try
if you had done this thing now, you'll have sold it at the time.
at the time.
It makes it more easier to sell if you
If you have
it-
demutualized, yeah,
Yes,
and you
now.
turn it electronic.
Yes.
I mean, my mom bought Ajib.
Ajib.
Yeah, so you know how long ago this was. She bought Ajib shares. You know, Ajib became finally was bought over and became AP. So she bought Ajib, and
It's not AP, that's FO now.
Yeah.
My mom
you see,
was the AP.
transition. Now, in buying Ajib, she was like, you know, when I found out, I had to be like, mommy, they must not allow us here this way. That my own mom is still here, so we now had to, as a quickly we covered our
Quietly.
shame. we did shout. You know, when you got to the register, you're like, we have share certificate. What do you have? Share certificate. So yeah, those are some of the things. So City of Lagos, please get out there and you know get to speak to a stockbroker. Investment One is one of them you can
Call
speak to.
Moses.
Call Moses, yeah. Call
Yes.
Moses. So you guys, they will sort it out for you. Basically, it's even the easier way to do it. Once you just talk to them, they will carry all the
Exactly.
wahala for you. Because if you do it by yourself, you have to start going
up and down.
yeah,
Yes.
if you have multiple shares, you have to go to all
Just
the
give
registrars.
Moses transport fare.
Don't worry, no.
Or pay Uber. This thing.
Don't worry, Moses will sort it out for you. All right,
Yes.
City of Lagos. Before we go, though, let's let you know that e-payments in Nigeria have increased increased by 16.4 trillion year on year in 2018. Figures from the Nigeria Interbank Settlement System (NIBS) have shown that Nigeria's electronic payment services recorded transactions worth 56.8 trillion naira between January and September 2018. 56.8 trillion naira. You people will be claiming you don't have money. I'm looking at two of you.
How now?
56.8 trillion naira in
What-
transactions
What
in 2018.
percentage of that money is mine?
You know,
I don't
that's
want to
another
know.
thing.
You people
That's
are
another
inside
thing.
inside
You,
this.
you know, in Nigeria, we have a lot of poor people, and we have few people that are rich, extremely rich.
Uh-huh.
So if my own transaction in a year is somebody's transaction in a day,
Uh-huh.
so how you now? How you?
But
connect
you are
that one?
still inside this transaction.
I agree now. I'm
Uh-huh.
not disputing that, but I'm just
So
saying
when
that
they say all the people that did this 56 trillion
you might be
transaction
surprised that
stand up,
you might be surprised that maybe 5 or 6 individuals carry like 50% of the whole transaction.
It's possible.
well, we know Nigeria is very possible.
Very
Uh-huh.
possible.
So how you now relate that? You can't. You
Okay,
see that.
plus also it's NIBS, so government transactions will be inside this thing too. So all those crude oil remittances and everything will also be here.
So you can't really say maybe my own might be 0.000 something percent of the whole transaction.
All right, City of Lagos. I want to thank you for being with us on the show. I want to thank Bibo Awele for being with us, and also Moses Ahmed from Investment One. Reach out to him if you still have those certificates,
Those paper.
those paper ones. Please reach out to any investment house around you. Get it sorted so that the dividends can go straight to your account. Please, this money is causing trouble.
Exactly.
When I say trouble, I don't mean it, but in terms of the fact that it keeps bringing up the discussion, should we use this money for something else, since nobody has come to collect it
And it's
all
huge.
these years? It's huge.
Government will use your money to build
You know,
road.
and every time the thing comes up, a few of us shout to stop it, but what about the day we don't hear?
The Pharaoh that
Exactly.
didn't know
Do you
Joseph,
get?
he
We just come. So please, please.
And again, if it's there, some people are not taking advantage of that. I can just go online, search somebody and see
Yeah.
what he has.
Yeah.
Go and create one fake ID card.
ID
fake
card,
document,
yeah.
Do all those things. Say it's my dad. He has died.
True.
People
Because
will even do fake birth and death
Death
certificate.
certificate.
actually, this fake death certificate thing, I know it from Pencom, you know, because I went for a training recently, and they were saying that there was a woman who came to claim that her husband was dead,
Mm.
and it was in the trying to regularize it that they said, let's even call the husband. And then the man picked. I say, hello, speaking.
No, we were like, maybe it's another person that's speaking his call.
No, it was him. He now went there and said, no, we've quarreled, though. I'm not dead yet. So, yeah.
We quarrel.
So,
We quarrel. So, you see, so a wife can even fake it. So, please, people, regularize, please.
need to regularize it.
Moses Ahmed, Investment One, Bimbo Awele from Nigeria Info here. Thank you very much for being with us on the show. City of Lagos, look at your timepiece, is 9:57 on a Monday morning to go out and remain profitable.